Legion Lost number 5, written by Fabian Nicieza, art by Pete Woods. We left off last issue with Timberwolf, Wildfire, and Tyrock all hunting down the alien that may be a chameleon girl when they were stopped by a team of, I don't know, they call themselves Black Razors. And Dawnstar and Tellus are fighting Alistar, who has become a giant, well, 3 giant, super strong looking aliens. So we pick up and we see what this virus is doing across the world. There's a girl who's got like tentacles growing out of her back, and some dude who just like blew up in front of the JLI, and another guy who's got electrical powers, but none of that matters, so they're fighting Alistair. And this is all told from the perspective of Tellus, the telepath, and basically they realize, okay, he's too strong, Tellus has to deal with it. Tellus has to be the one who takes him down mentally because we can't do anything like strength-wise. But Dawnstar's going to put up as much of a fight as possible in the meantime. So she's flying around, and he basically describes like, oh, she's so intense and blah, 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 blah. It's literally just saying how Dawnstar's cool for whatever reason. But Tellus has to focus on getting inside his head. Unfortunately, he's also pretty strong mentally as well. So this is going to be harder than intended. Tellus yells out in like pain telepathically, which the other Legionnaires hear, but they're still surrounded by this Black Ops team of Black Razors. So they're like, okay, well, we're going to have to deal with this. I'll take care of the alien body that may or may not be Chameleon Girl, says Timberwolf. You guys go out and take care of these guys. And so I believe it's Tyrock. I'm still a little bit concerned about that. Tyrock, he uses hypersonics to basically just knock out all the guards. But it takes up a lot of energy, apparently. So he hitches a ride with Wildfire. Meanwhile, Timberwolf grabs the alien and runs away. More of a fight about Dawnstar and them, while Tellus is like, oh, I have to maybe lobotomize him. It'll go against everything I believe in. But then we get into the history of Alistar and how he was just trying to get his sister into university on Earth, and he had to work some crappy jobs, but he didn't realize that Earth was inherently xenophobic at that point, like literally hating aliens. And so once she got hurt, he met some geneticist who had this idea for a virus, and he was going to release it on Earth, but the Legion stopped him. But then he went back in time, and then this book picked up. So then Alistair like picks up a truck and basically like throws it, or at least stops it enough that the driver goes through the windshield. Dawnstar swoops in again without caring about her safety, blah blah blah, and saves the driver as Wildfire swoops in and is like, hey, Dawnstar, good job, stand back, as he unleashes just this massive energy blast at, anti-energy blast at Alistair. It doesn't do anything. Literally can't take him on. So then Tellus gets in his head and he's like, oh, I know how I'm going to beat him because he hates humanity so much. I'm going to tell him exactly what he did. So he makes the leaps and assumptions that because of the hypertaxis virus being unleashed on humanity at this point, they'll be forced to see past like their own borders and their own races and stuff like that, because everyone will have their own like alien things. Nobody will be similar enough that they can be part of like a tribal groupthink, and therefore they will be like the unified race of hyper sapiens, and therefore they will look towards the stars. And so all Alistar has done, instead of destroying the human race, is made them the savior of the stars, the better hope for the future. And Alistar just turns back into his normal self, and he's like, no. And I guess he just passes out from that. For some reason, they take a second to show that the driver of the truck is running away. I don't know why, but then they're like, all right, cool. So we've got to get him out of here before he comes to. How are we going to get him out of here? And then Gates, the teleport dude who seemingly died in issue 1, just shows back up, and he's like, I'll teleport him out of here. And they're like, what are you doing here? And he's like, I'll tell you later. Come on. And so they just go, and they're all, happy for it. And then one last page, we get to cut back to Timberwolf. He's walking down the street, carrying along this alien that may be Chameleon Girl. And Martian Manhunter swings by, and he's like, hey, you guys are kind of dangerous, and I, the Martian Manhunter, am here to get answers. It's Deathstroke and Martian Manhunter. They keep showing up everywhere. They're just like, hey, what do we need in a book in order to show that we're part of the universe? Flip a coin, Martian Manhunter. There it is. This doesn't feel like the end of the arc. This feels like there's still another chapter in there, especially with Chameleon Girl still being on the fritz. But I don't know, like, it was the whole way they beat the villain was just by telling him, actually, what you did was a good thing. And that just, like, caused him to not be transformed. Wouldn't that just piss him off more? Wouldn't that just make him a bigger, stronger, more deadly alien? I don't know. It's whatever. In terms of this specific plot, Tellus has this annoying way of using ellipses in everything he says, which kind of makes this a pain to read, especially because it's all from his perspective. If you just ignore him, it's not terrible, but at some points it's like, okay, just come on, dude. And I don't know. I just, like, whatever. Okay, this issue happened. I don't care so much about the Alistair stuff, despite the fact it's literally the only thing that I should be caring about. I'm actually more interested in just that last page reveal than anything else, which I guess is why they put it in there. But regardless, I don't, like, whatever. And then Gates showing back up and saying, I'll get around to it. I hope they do, because otherwise that doesn't make any sense either. I'm giving this one a 5.5, just because. And also that Black Ops team, the Black Razors, just got knocked out without anything. All of this was just like, what are they going to do about this? Oh, here's exactly what they're going to do about this, and it's just going to work out. Fine, whatever, but you get a 5.5 for it.